Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight, a 17-year-old, one of the co-accused charged with the murder of LeVar McKenzie. You've got the story. A Canadian couple recounts their horrific encounter with Hurricane Dorian 1 year later. Plus, gym owners eager to get back to work.
Our News is brought to you by Alive.
Welcome to Our News and thank you for joining us. I'm Kyle Joaquin. Days after his body was found in bushes not far from his home, two young men were charged with the murder of 17-year-old LeVar McKenzie. The pair, ages 17 and 20, hung their heads as they were brought before the magistrate today. Georgia Bain was there and has the story.
Officers of the Central Detective Unit brought a 20-year-old and a 17-year-old male to the magistrate's court to face murder charges in connection with a 17-year-old who was previously reported missing, whose body was later found in local bushes. Officers of the Central Detective Unit brought 20-year-old Franklin Glinton of London Avenue, seen in the white shirt, and a 17-year-old juvenile before Chief Magistrate Joyanne Ferguson Pratt to be formally charged with murder. The charge is in connection with 17-year-old LeVar McKenzie, who was reported missing by family members on the 27th of August. McKenzie's body was later discovered in bushes near his Miller Heights home, where he was last seen, with visible injuries. In court, the 17-year-old was represented by attorney Ian Cargill. Glinton, who celebrates his 20th birthday today, was not represented by a lawyer. Both were not required to enter a plea to the charge. Glinton will be remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections, while the 17-year-old juvenile will be remanded to the Simpson Penn Center for Boys. Both returned to court on December 15th for the presentation of a voluntary bill of indictment. Reporting for Our News, I'm Georgia Bain.
A 3-year-old boy died this morning after an incident at a pool at Resorts World Bimini. According to police, just after 9 p.m., the toddler was found at the bottom of the pool. The child was rushed to Bimini Clinic and later airlifted to New Providence for further medical attention. However, the toddler succumbed to his injury this morning just after 7. A police investigation into this matter is underway. A family of 4 that swam for their lives during Hurricane Dorian last year won't ever forget what it took to survive the killer storm. The Canadians, who have called Apico home for the last 5 years, say despite losing nearly everything, they are thankful to be alive. Jasmine Brown reports.
It was 3 women, 2 teenage girls and a woman and a man. They swam across and made it, and they are thankful to be alive tonight. And it really was a race against time because the eye was moving across the area, and we knew at any moment that the intense storm could return.
That was the moment the Barasa family, originally from Canada, knew they had escaped Dorian's monstrous clutches after they crawled out of flood waters and made it to the Apico Beach Resort. The family of 4, including husband and wife Chad and Danielle and their daughters Daphne and Ariane, who were 14 and 17 at the time, had to abandon their 2-story canal front home in Marsh Harbor after the water surged above 8 feet.
To our windows, we were like in an aquarium. If there could be little fishies, but it wasn't fishies. There was little debris of wood and furniture floating around everywhere. So the cars were floating. So we in the eye, we looked at the water receded enough to under the windows so we could get out. And I took a rope and we waded through.
That's when they made the split-second decision to leave their home, taking advantage of the calm brought by the eye of the storm. During their desperate attempt to reach the nearby Apico Beach Club Hotel, they used a rope to tie themselves together before they entered the murky and turbulent waters.
Fence was underwater, and the barbed wire was there, and our oldest daughter's got a huge gash on her thigh. And we were over 30, and she swam in the nationals, in the Bahamian nationals. So she was probably our strongest swimmer.
Your street is a river, rapid, and you can cross it. And you stuck there in this tree, and you're there. You say, what will we do? What? And you see the canal is destroyed, and the street. If you go through, that's the canal. That's the ocean. If we miss this, we gone. That's the ocean. We go back in the ocean.
Their desperate bid to escape was caught on camera by an international film crew. Danielle says what stands out most about that day is their will to live.
During this crossing, one point I saw twice my daughters inside the water, because this was hard water. Both of them were so strong to get out of the water, and I remember to see their face, nobody would,
the will to live.
Yeah, they say that's Dorian.
While Barasa has returned to work in Abaco over the last year, his wife has remained in New Providence, where their youngest daughter attends high school. Their 18-year-old daughter attends college in Canada. Barasa says despite all they have been through, the family has no plans on deserting Abaco, as they too want the best for the island they have come to call home.
Abaco was our home, is still our home in our hearts. And we love the community. We love the people of Abaco. So it was, it's great trauma for the kids. It was hard for them, and we ripped them out of their lives, which we felt was Abaco was a little bit of a niche of a paradise before Dorian. And
we'll come back.
it will come back.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Jasmine Brown.
When Dorian rolled through Grand Bahama last year, there were everyday Bahamians who sprung into action, hopping on jet skis and heavy-duty trucks to save lives. There are countless stories of heroism that stem from that tragic event. Tonight, we share the story of one unsung hero who, while trying to save his own life, saved that of another.
They saying it was the category 4 or 5, but it wasn't no category 5. That was the category, I'll say a 10.
Tony Russell braved the storm at home because he thought it wouldn't be that bad. But after spending 2 days seeking shelter in a pine yard, his car, or any building still standing while Dorian wreaked havoc on his community, he says that'll be the last time he takes that chance. And as he fought to save his own life, the unexpected happened. A knock on the door of the building where he sought shelter was that of a woman, bruised and battered, seeking refuge from the storm.
So I didn't say nothing. I thought it was just something knocking against the house. So my man said, answer. I say, who that is? I ain't no answer. So I had a little knock again. I said, who that is? So she said, it's Barry. So I took her inside. She's all caught up and bruised up, so I clean her up. Find a spot for her to lay down, because she couldn't do no more walking. So I let her rest for 2 days.
They both survived for the next few days off of the food Russell found scattered around his property. That woman would later go on to find out that her children and her husband didn't survive Dorian.
I tell them, our husband and the children could be okay, because they ain't Sam yet, but we know they ain't dead. You have to keep her calm. We know in ourselves they was gone. Because she witnessed herself that our big boy got under the water before everything else. When they get up by the cleanup, he called his wife, and his wife, changed her up and everything. And at the same time, the chopper coming and took her straight to the hospital.
Barry's story would go on to be featured in the short doc, Barry and the Six, which was released this week.
I need my death certificates. I need my family death certificates to move on with my life. Not only to move on, to give me closure. What is this? This is me, my husband's room. This is my room right now. Oh my God.
I stayed behind for a reason. And that reason was to save our life.
And while life isn't exactly the easiest right now, Russell looks at the glass half full. He's grateful to be alive and that he made the decision to stay back. If anything, it played a big part in saving the life of someone else.
You gotta live. You just can't give up. And I'm not a give up. I'm a believer.
In other news, Progressive Liberal Party Chairman Fred Mitchell catching some heat after he was seen having a meal outside a Grand Bahama restaurant. Mitchell, who recently returned from a trip to the U.S., said during an interview in Grand Bahama that the leader of the opposition asked him to travel to that island to extend well wishes to those affected by Hurricane Dorian. However, he has since been criticized for being seen in public rather than isolating himself for 14 days as required by emergency orders. Mitchell today said despite testing negative, he still took necessary precautions and is in quarantine on Grand Bahama.
I do not propose to enter that game. and to make any specific comments beyond what I said at the airport. It is clear why I came here. It is clear the circumstances under which I came here. It is clear what my view is of the law. I claim no special privileges. Apart from that, I have no specific comment. The authorities are aware that I am in the Bahamas. This is a Bahamian island. I am a Bahamian legislator, and I claim no privileges beyond that.
A group of gym owners and fitness instructors are urging the competent authority to let them reopen. Jared Higgs tells us this month makes 6 months since they've been out of business.
Every day that we're closed, it's just going to be harder and harder to open.
That's a short clip from a video put out by the Bahamas Gym Owners Alliance. The video was endorsed by about a dozen fitness professionals and makes a case for their facilities to be open.
We are opening sectors that contribute to those underlying health issues. So open up this area that contribute in a positive way.
We caught up with a group of those gym owners at Evolve Functional Fitness. Charles Johnson of Out the Box Fitness explained that fitness professionals are nearing their breaking point as bills continue to climb and revenue remains low.
We are not making that particular type of money. There's no one to go to say, hey, is there any type of stimulus to give the industry, so that we can get through this time? Nothing. Nothing is coming to us to say, hey, we understand the crisis you guys are facing, and we are trying to assist.
Gyms have been among the biggest casualties as lockdown measures have seen them only open for 3 weeks in the past 5.5 months. The loss of revenue has many owners on edge. Several of them explained in their own words why it's important for them to open. Tangerine Curry-Dinnick opened Evolve Functional Fitness around 2 years ago. She considers her facility to be boutique in nature and needs activity to get rolling again.
One of my main things is my pool. And if you read up on pools, pools are very safe to do activities in. I would really like to reopen my pool, get my kids back in.
Comby Smith of Caribbean Sweat Fitness says he's also feeling the pain. He says trainers ought to be essential.
What's kind of disappointing to me is in my environment, it's almost impossible to break the protocols, the health protocols, because we're outdoors, we're on the beach, where it's just so open and such a big space.
Other professionals who were on hand explain how the closure affected them.
It really dampers my progression as a bodybuilder. And I can, only can speak for myself, but I know for sure that, other athletes like track and field and powerlifters, they also are being restricted from progressing in their sport.
We need the gym open for people to get on with their lives. The gym is also a way of life like everything else out here in the country.
That in-person sociability, especially for everybody that trains together, they push each other. And the more you push each other, the more it makes it easier for you to get to your goals. When we're not there, they fall off.
The group says it has written to the competent authority and is waiting for guidance on the way forward. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jared Higgs.
All right, thanks, Jared. More news on the way, but here's a first look at weather with meteorologist Greg Thompson. Good night, Greg.
Thanks, Kyle. I'm meteorologist Greg Thompson with your first look at weather. Outside our studios, we have just a few clouds. Temperatures still hanging on into the 80s. 86 is our current temperature. The winds out of the east-south. East at 7 knots. Feels like temperature around 91 degrees Fahrenheit. On our satellite, we have beautiful conditions around the islands most of the day. Nice easterly breeze bringing in some isolated showers across the islands. Most of those showers will be moving towards the west and away from our area through tonight. That's your first look at weather. Your extended forecast is still to come.
All right, thanks, Greg. Still to come, a stern warning from the police commissioner. Plus, a local sports bar owner urges the competent authority to allow those businesses to reopen. Stay tuned.
It was cheat, Rev up in the next promotion? Okay. Nice.
Bye. You give up it.
Best to water tree.
Rev is making this summer hotter than ever with our Rev Hot Summer Staycation. Simply upgrade to Rev Trio and use your free apps like Rev Go Play to watch your favorite NBA teams and Rev Go Voice to stay connected. and enter to win a free staycation on us. You can also enter to win a bi-weekly home party for you and your family, or a weekly drawing for a sleek new mobile device. Don't get caught daydreaming. Get in the game and into the fun. Visit rev.bs/trio for details. Rev, you and us, together.
Police Commissioner Paul Roll sending a stern warning to those still holding social gatherings, saying anyone caught will be arrested. Jillian Gray has more.
The police commissioner again warned residents about breaking the curfew, stating that while restrictions have been relaxed, everyone must still abide by the rules in order to stay safe during the pandemic.
It is very selfish for someone to want to go and have a party and expose hundreds of people possibly. Because you don't know, unless they're taking some tests before they go into these parties, you got a whole crowd of people, and that is high risk. And I'm asking them to be responsible and show common sense, because essentially that's what you're not doing by having these parties.
Roll was responding to questions about several parties that have happened since restrictions have been relaxed. In a now viral social media video, officers are seen breaking up a party at a local bar on Saturday. Roll said that officers will continue to deal with people who breach the emergency powers orders, adding that officers arrested more than a dozen people who were partying at that local establishment on Saturday.
There were a total of 23 persons that were arrested in that one, and then again last night officers went into another club where they arrested, I believe, either 12 or 15 persons that were found on the inside. And what I would ask members of the public, if you are aware of these incidents, call us. You call us and we will be able to go and deal with it, and as opposed to sending things around in social media.
The emergency powers orders prohibit social gatherings, and there is still a curfew in effect from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Roll said he understands that people are tired of being locked in their homes, and added that he also wants things to go back to normal.
I'm asking people to, be tepid, man, and let's look out for all. I would like to be able to move about freely without having the fear. I have a certain amount of fear as well, but I have to live here just like everybody else.
He also said they are not having challenges policing the orders, despite several officers out of commission because of the coronavirus.
It's not impacting us. I told you some time ago we've had numbers of officers out in quarantine, and the bulk of those officers are back to work. And so we continue to press on. We have to press on, and we are doing as much as we can to keep our officers safe. But we have to continue to interact with members of the public.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Jillian Gray.
Officers of the Road Traffic Division urging motorists to drive with caution. This as officers say they are wary of an uptick in accidents as the country continues to reopen.
Yeah, there was a decrease in accident during the lockdown. Now that the country is open up, we have seen an increase. And with the country opening more, we'll definitely see more of an increase in accidents. That's why we want these drivers to really be aware of what they're doing when they're on the road.
Sergeant Warren Storr of the Road Traffic Division says officers are anticipating the increase due to past trends. He urged drivers to be especially careful at night.
The country open up, we'll tend to see more accidents because accidents do occur. Yeah, but we continue to try to educate people in traffic, in the traffic division, to say, be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of the amount of traffic on the road. Stay off your mobile devices. Be aware of pedestrians. Be aware of flying objects. All these will result in accidents if drivers don't keep proper attention to the road.
Well, days after many businesses resumed operations, one local nightclub owner says his business is still reeling from the economic hit caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. He's calling on the competent authority to extend the curfew to allow nightclubs to survive. Berthany McDermott reports.
The COVID-19 pandemic dealing a serious blow to the nightclub industry, with one major nightclub owner saying his business has taken a serious hit. Owner of Fifth Place Restaurant and Bar, Gaffon Swan, says since being forced to close because of the COVID-19 pandemic, he lost more than $30,000 in inventory.
We lose anywhere around the $20,000 to $30,000. Even more, but I don't want to, I'm sure it's more because from March until the first opening, We did a little something, but it wasn't much because all it did is was trying to get us. The engines just started to roll again slowly. It didn't gear up.
And that's not all. Swan says he also lost employees and had his electricity turned off. The recent emergency powers orders allows restaurants to conduct outdoor dining and takeaway services. While his business can operate under these provisions, Swan says this proved to be a challenge for his business, which is known for being a popular nightclub, as he was forced to transform his yard space to accommodate outdoor dining.
I just had to get an estimate from the carpenter to put a roof over this whole bar area. Just so we could have some covering some shade from the sun. That's going to cost me anywhere around the $7,000 to $8,000 to do, labor and materials. So all of these are costs that we have to take in. We have to take in order to get this to work again. And if the government keep closing down and opening, closing down and opening, soon we'll be out of business completely.
And with these tough circumstances, Swan is calling on the competent authority to extend the curfew to allow businesses like these to survive.
What we want the government to do first now is more or less extend the lockdown hours, the curfew hours, extend the curfew hours probably till 12 o'clock, because what's happening is most of the people don't come out until say about around 7, 8 o'clock, and by the time they get into spending money and so forth, we cannot make a turnover, because by the time they settle in, it's time to leave.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
All right, thanks, Berthany. Still to come, police back in the community to hand out PPEs and food vouchers. Plus, a Bahamian makes it to the Major League. Stay tuned.
It was cheat, you know.
Rev up in the next promotion? Okay. Nice.
Bye. You give up it.
That's 2 out of 3.
Rev is making this summer hotter than ever with our Rev Hot Summer Staycation. Simply upgrade to Rev Trio and use your free apps like Rev Go Play to watch your favorite NBA teams and Rev Go Voice to stay connected and enter to win a free staycation on us. You can also enter to win a bi-weekly home party for you and your family or a weekly drawing for a sleek new mobile device. Don't get caught daydreaming. Get in the game and into the fun. Visit rev.bs/trio for details. Rev, you and us, together.
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance Peter Turnquest assured residents of East Grand Bahama yesterday that they have not been forgotten by the Minister administration. Turnquest, who is also the Member of Parliament for East Grand Bahama, says there is still a lot more work to be done in the community that was hard hit by Hurricane Dorian.
Hi, Rock. I know that this has been a rough year. I know that there are many of us, many of you, who are still displaced, who have not been able to get back into their homes because, quite frankly, there is no home. But I want to again assure you of the commitment of the government to doing whatever it can within the resources that we have to assist with getting this community back up and going as soon as possible.
Inner city residents received mass, water, and grocery vouchers from the Royal Bahamas Police Force today. Police Commissioner Paul Rhodes said they gave out 200 food vouchers because they know the pandemic has dealt a harsh blow to many.
We want to assure the members of the public that the police are, in fact, their friends, and we want to be able to help in all of these communities in any which way we can. It's not all about arresting people and putting people in jail, although that is a part of our job. But what we also want the people to know is that we are here for everybody. And so today we gave out 200 food vouchers each of those vouchers is valued at $40.
The top cop, along with members of his team, went through Montel Heights and Nassau Village handing out the items. Rhodes said they will continue the initiative in other communities as well. Community residents thanked them as they said the donation will help to ease the strain brought on by the pandemic.
I'm the only person in the house working right now. And I just want to say thank you, and then I'm out sick from work. And I just want to say thank you.
This area is always in great and dire need, and any help that we could get from anybody is greatly appreciated. So I have 4 children, and this would be a major help towards anything that I would need to purchase this week.
A lot of people struggling, a lot of people suffering. And today I didn't have my data on, so I had to walk around and let the people them know attention meters on the park. And it came true. Thank God.
Still to come, one Bahamian athlete's dream of playing in the Major League comes true. Stay tuned.
It was cheat, you know. Rev up in the next promotion? Okay. Nice.
Bye. You give up it.
Best 2 out of 3.
Rev is making this summer hotter than ever with our Rev Hot Summer Staycation. Simply upgrade to Rev Trio and use your free apps like Rev Go Play to watch your favorite NBA teams and Rev Go Voice to stay connected and enter to win a free staycation on us. You can also enter to win a bi-weekly home party for you and your family or a weekly drawing for a sleek new mobile device. Don't get caught daydreaming. Get in the game and into the fun. Visit rev.bs/trio for details. Rev, you and us, together.
Finally tonight, news Bahamian Jazz Chisholm made his first Major League start on Wednesday. Marcellus Hall has all the highlights.
Well, these days, any form of positive news is a great thing. Last couple of days have been great for Bahamian sports fans, as one of our own, Jazz Chisholm, has gotten the call to be yet another Major League Baseball professional player.
Bahamian Jazz Chisholm making his first Major League start on Wednesday as his Florida Marlins squad took on the Toronto Blue Jays. Starting nod coming just 1 day after he was added to the official Major League roster on Tuesday, becoming just the 7th Bahamian to play at the Major League level, joining Andre Rogers, Tony Curry, Adam Brister, Wendy Ford, Will Comer, and Antoine Richardson. He talked about his feelings after getting the initial call.
First thing I did was call all my family members and friends, put them on like a group FaceTime call, and like as everybody's joining, I'm just like, hey everybody, like, yeah, I just got called up, and like it was just ecstatic. It was just like everybody just stayed silent and started getting like very emotional, and I mean it was just a really like touching moment for me from how far I came down from, you know. On my way to the field, you know, had to clear my mind and just say that I was ready to come and help the team win a ball game. You know, I'm glad I could have got in the game yesterday and just get the first step on the field, jitters off, but I'm just happy to be here.
Chisholm saying the opportunity couldn't have come at a better time.
Having my debut in Miami, the closest place to home that I can be home, I'm always lost for words when I think of it. It couldn't be a better time, you know, get called up to a playoff potential team, and I believe that we're gonna make it to the playoffs. So like getting called up to a playoff team is just amazing, and being at home makes it even more. It's just adding on to the brownie points for me.
Starting at shortstop and batting ninth in this one, the 22-year-old would strike out in his first at-bat, but would make good contact against veteran pitcher Hyunjin Ryu the rest of the way, finishing 0 for 4 as the Marlins lost this one 2-1.
So we'll continue to monitor Jazz's progress as he now has officially begun his Major League Baseball career. Reporting for Our News, I'm Marcellus Hall.
And that's a look at news. We throw it back to meteorologist Greg Thompson for the extended weather forecast.
Thanks again, Kyle. I'm meteorologist Greg Thompson with your second look at weather. Around the islands, breezy conditions continued as high pressure remains in charge. Some high-level clouds moving across the southeast Bahamas. Some isolated showers in the forecast tonight through the remainder of the morning. Your boating forecast for the northwest Bahamas. Your winds will be out of the east to southeast at around 10 to 15 knot, seas running 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. While in the central and southeast Bahamas, a caution flag continues for you guys down there. East to southeast winds 15 to 20 knots, seas running 4 to 6 feet over the ocean. Here's a look now at your national forecast. Now a look at your extended forecast through Tuesday. That's a look at your forecast. Make it a great night, everyone.
Thank you for joining us for Our News Tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Kyle Joaquin. Remember, you can catch Our News on the go with Revigo Play app. Stay tuned for a brand new episode of On the Record with host Jerome Sawyer. Have a good evening, Bahamas.